Of the 7.2 billion people on Earth, 3 billion have internet access. 2.1 billion are using social media right now.
Check this out news, coming to you live.
We are here for a purpose of love and honesty and how we can change some things in our community. It's about passion, positivity, and togetherness. It's not about money. It's not about making any kind of profit for myself. I've always been about trying to make sure that we as a community get better and better every day.
Hip-hop is a thing that transcends, race, age, sexual orientation, and religion. It's a thing that's supposed to bring people together.
Right.
Now, I think that the understanding of, there have been strategic applications of divisive tactics that have been implemented on our communities, like the Willie Lynch shit, the How to Break a Slave shit. That shit is real.
Of course,
you know what I'm saying?
Hell, that is real.
And those types of tactics are still being played today, which is why you still have a light skin, dark skin thing. You still have.
I wish that shit had stopped too.
I do too. You know what I'm saying? I'm 6'4" and dark skinned with a bald head on the inside, you know what I'm saying?
That's exactly my point. I'm the blackest light-skinned nigga y'all know.
Yeah, but I think that understanding, when we understand that it didn't come from us, this is something that has been implemented and a tactic that has been used to divide us and keep us separated for generations. When we understand that, then when we start to feel the way that you say you feel, or I feel, when we go somewhere, then we'll understand why we're feeling like that, and we won't make it be so much about the person that we see, and we'll make it be like, okay, I'm tripping.
Can I say this, brothers and sisters?
CeeLo in the building, y'all. CeeLo.
I feel like, as black people, we're far too emotional.
Real talk.
Far too emotional.
Indeed.
Right? And I think
about things that don't matter.
This is not the race thing, but it's just an observation. I think that our European counterparts, they handle business differently. They walk very gracefully that fine line between love and tolerance. I like to call it peanut butter and jelly. You know what I mean by that? It means they could have an indifference with this individual, but he got peanut butter and I got jelly. It's better than a jelly sandwich alone. It's better than a peanut butter sandwich.
Right.
So that's business. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I believe that there's an industrial agenda. I believe that there's an industrial genocide against the psyche, the soul, the surrendering of a community. I think that odorless poison is being pumped through the airwaves, and it's a conditioning, of our culture. You know what I mean? Like, it's crippling, you know what I'm saying? And depreciating us. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a much slower detriment and dilapidation than a bullet to the head.
I think you and Tip should go on tour.
Hold on.
And don't rap. You motherfuckers need to speak.
Hey, so low.
I'm gonna give you another example. The difference between a killing and a murder is the emotion involved. The emotion is going to affect your aim. When somebody is murdered, they're murdered out of emotion and out of impulse. That's why they're bound to leave a clue. You're going to get caught for a crime of passion. You never heard the term contract murderer. You heard the term contract killer, because you can be killed from 100 yards away.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Does that make any sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm a conspiracy theorist, nigga.
Yeah,
I get it.
I'm saying take the emotion out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, act accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Like, know the rules of the game and know that it is a game. And know that you have opposition. Know that radio, television, marketing, media at large, there is a racket. And we have been colonized and localized.
Okay,
and we are forced to rely on reality when they can profit off of imagination and intellectual property. They don't have to tell the truth to make money.
We're talking about the culture's currency. CeeLo, when you first started being an artist, why did you get in the game?
So I was just a fan. Like, I was a fan of Kane. I see Shan over there.
Right.
Can I tell you a great story? I worked at a balloon shop in Greenbrier Mall. I'm going to say this because I was just looking at the video for Left Me Lonely yesterday. That was my record growing up, right?
Right.
And I love James, Stop This Crazy Thing, and all that whole record. So, you know I'm quoting it, right? Them album cuts, them one of the singles. So, I worked in a balloon shop, and I walked across the street to Superside with my first check, and I bought that record. So, I bought that, the whole LP for Shan, and I bought the 12-inch. Thank you, bro. I bought the 12-inch Public Enemy, Rubber Without a Pause. Sir. And the picture was the 98 Posse on the front. You know, it says if Shanna's on the back with the Puma suit, Terry Koff Kango, red Puma, blue Puma. Style. I just identified with it. So it was I was a fan, basically, to answer your question.
Well, let me go back a step. Kane, when you started, why did you get in the game?
I wanted to be the dopest MC.
Yeah.
You were.
He wanted to, and he was.
Yeah, definitely. 1,000.
So now my question is, we're talking about culture as currency. How many of the upcoming artists or artists in the game now are in it for that reason or this reason?
I mean, you got to feel my
No. This is what I keep getting back to.
Right.
The saturation.
Most of them about the bag.
Yeah.
Every one of them about the bag.
Tigger, can I say this too? I want to say something too.
But you got to realize something, though, guys, that at the end of the day, it's our fault. Yep. It's our privilege to make sure our children are spoiled. We taught our children how to make money. We taught our children how to get to the money, get to the bag, as you say.
Sure.
And kids, that's all they see. It's getting to the bag.
I love you in real life.
Get to the bag. That's all they know.
I think that every generation wants their own. You understand what I'm saying?
True.
Like, you know, Kane fought to have his own, as well as Outkast fought to have their own, as well as I fought to have my own. This generation is no different. They fighting to have their own. Right. Now, the thing that must be done is you take the lessons that have been taught from before you, and, you know, you benefit from the doors that have been opened before you. You got to keep that into consideration as you move forward. One of the best examples I have of this is Kendrick Lamar, right?
Clearly.
The record that he just dropped, I believe, is Love. And he say, hit that shoulder lean.
Hit that shoulder lean. I know what coming over me. Backstroke overseat.
You know what I'm saying? See, just by doing that, you know what I'm saying, he let people know, hey man, you know what?
I'm
it's a
listening to
motherfucker who had that was Dro.
That was
I was on. But what I'm saying is, he let people know, okay, I used to listen to this, and you know, so he might have put some more people on to him, like, what are you talking about? And that's the way you got to do it subtly, and not necessarily in your face or force it on nobody. Just if they listen to it and they're affected by it, then it's going to make its way, it's going to be reincarnated in some way, shape, form, or fashion within them.
We want to remind you to please like our Facebook page if you haven't already. When you join, you'll be able to receive weekly updated news and events, live video messages, and most importantly, you'll be able to interact with tons of people just like you. So go on that button on top of your Facebook page and give it a click, or interact with us on Instagram. Without each and every one of you, Tech This Out would not exist. We couldn't do it without you. Make sure to repost and share different things you see on our page. The more you share, the better. Be sure to watch previous shows on our YouTube channel, and please subscribe so that you can be notified when we post new content. We really want to connect and hear from you, so please don't hesitate to message us. And to find us online, please go to Tech This Out America on Facebook, Tech This Out on YouTube, Twitter, and all social media platforms. Get whole scope at techthisoutnews.com. We connect the streets.
It's really the evolution of hip-hop. I think we were in a good place when we started, right? But I think where we've evolved is definitely taking a turn for the worse. You know, I was watching Love and Hip Hop this week, and I was really, really disheartened by what I saw on TV. No disrespect to anybody in this room who happens to be on the show, but it's unfortunate because we have allowed money to be a premium over our ethics, right? And so we think it's okay to get a check and talk about, red bottoms and bloody shoes and all this stuff, and that's what's important now, right? Versus what people used to talk about, which is the struggle and what needed to happen for black people and us not only being NBA players, but how do I get to work with a guy like Grant Hill every day who's an owner, right? So how do you go from player to owner versus just talking about checks and money and people have their bodies showing on TV and there's a premium for all of this stuff? We've taken a turn for the worse, and so I think we have to have an honest conversation about our part and the part that we're playing and where hip-hop is at. It's not to say that we can't evolve and get better, but we've definitely taken a turn for the worse.
I'll say this from what Deb was saying. When she said hip-hop is at war, that is absolutely correct, and I've had these discussions before. What happened was they devalued the art and put more value on the technology, okay? So now, if I, from Silicon Valley, you know what I'm saying, little white boy, if I make this technology that allows you to listen to all of this music for free, now there's less value on the music and more value on the technology. And that's the war that we fighting right now.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Clayton Lawrence. I'm one of Dr. Wilson's students from Georgia Tech. And as a student of engineering, I wanted to know from the panel, what can the technology industry do to give back, to contribute to the value of hip-hop? So for those of us who are in the industry for technology, how can we give some of that value back into hip-hop?
I think if you guys can create some type of algorithm that tells a story along with the new contribution. I mean, I think a lot of the disconnect is that you don't know the history. Like he was saying in the Kendrick Lamar song, there was a quote from a famous hip-hop song, like, create an algorithm that catches that. You know, a lot of times people sample music that you never know the original. You know, it's different things like that, but it's all based in algorithms, and you could do it.
I was going to say, whenever you create that new thing, reach out to those people who are in music and help blend it. You know what I'm saying? Don't let it just be about the technology. Text tip.
And also,
that sounds like a real campaign.
Text tip.
Text tip. Text Big Daddy.
And
Kane.
also keeping that technology with us instead of selling it elsewhere.
I have a question for everybody on the panel. First of all, thank you, Bone Crusher, for having this event because awareness is so important. We've had awareness all the way from Martin and Malcolm to Garvey and Du Bois to Adam and Eve, right?
Right.
We're not always going to agree on the same topic. But besides your philosophy, I want to hear your philanthropy. For everybody on the panel, I want to ask you, what is your actionable item that you will do or that you have done to improve the state of the hip-hop union?
For myself, I'm doing everything I can. Me and my wife, Storyteller, we have Crusher Consulting, and our slogan is unlocking endless possibilities. And anybody that has, most people in here we've worked with or friends with, and they can tell you the things that we do. We don't like to talk about it, we walk about it.
I think the best thing you could do is give your time. When Bone Crusher called me about this, it wasn't about money, it was about KB, I'm doing this.
To solve the problem is doing exactly what you're doing.
Right.
We here. That's number one.
For free.
For free.
That's right.
Here's I'm gone.
And here, let me give you the quickie with this from what I see from 10,000 feet up. As you know, I've been through it. I've been an artist. I've been all of that. So I get it. The difference is a few things. Number one, we can never compare ourselves to immigrants because our struggle is so much different.
Exactly.
And the second part is they have culture.
That's
we
right.
lost our culture.
Exactly.
The second part of that is the
What
most
is our
important
culture,
thing.
Hip hop.
Black culture.
No,
We've lost black culture.
We created.
So the most important thing to these immigrants, the most important thing is education.
Right.
They make sure they educate their children. That's
and that
number
goes
one.
back to
back to their culture.
And it starts in the home. It's not
Exactly.
in the classroom. The classroom is the second
But
step.
the culture makes it embarrassing if you don't succeed education-wise.
Right.
See, we make excuses for our kids not exceeding education-wise. And